Hello everyone, TheMagiBum here. I'm going to be showing you guys something a little different for now. It's going to be some natural selection too. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually just going to commentate on something else while this is playing. Because I recently came across this thing on Twitter. It happened yesterday actually. It was trending on Twitter in Australia. That's where I'm from. If you can't tell by my accent. It's called hashtag questions for men. And since I'm a man, I figured I'd answer them. So let's get right into it. Question 1 by Echo Owl. Uh, Questions for men. Have you ever suffered a life-changing traumatic event and told to man up and get over it? Well, I don't really talk about the life-changing traumatic events that I have gone through, mainly because I feel like people either don't care or uh, it'll make them upset and stuff, and really I don't like making people upset, so I don't talk about it. Question 2. Have you ever had to fight for your vote? By Angela Knight. Um, and she says men that didn't own property. Wait, men that didn't own property or land could not vote until 1918. Wait, so I did not know this that men couldn't own land. Men that didn't own land or property could not vote. I mean, I'm not a big history buff, so I don't really know about that. Actually, 1918 is when the World War II ended, so maybe that's when all these changes started happening or something. But actually, when it comes to voting, I thought democracy was in effect at that point in time. Wasn't democracy sort of like a Renaissance thing? Like after the Renaissance, like a king got beheaded or something like that, and then they started like it was in France, wasn't it? Like where democracy started. I don't know. It's one of those things where uh, I know democracy had happened at one point, and then I guess all the other countries sort of fell in line with that. Although I guess England still has um, the monarchy, but they don't have anywhere near as much power as they used to. Actually, let's get back to the question. I seem to have gone off track. Have you ever had to fight for your vote? No, actually, I'm pretty lazy, or well, not really lazy. I'm more apathetic towards voting because like both parties in Australia seem to be pretty iffy. They're pretty much the same actually. Like one is just slightly more conservative than the other. But basically, actually, when it came to my voting, I actually voted for the party that was promising the NBN, uh, or the better version of the NBN. So, like for me, I want better internet. I want a better technology. I want a country to actually compete against the rest of the world because we are a first world country per se. We should really be showing that by being a strong technological country, I guess. But we have pretty weak internet actually at the moment. So, have you ever had to fight for your vote? I haven't personally, and when it comes to voting, I'm not really uh, happy with the state of anything in it as it is right now because you're not really voting for what you want. You're voting for what's there. So, yeah, not a big fan of that. And Angela actually has another question. Are your business ideas called cute? Well, if yours are, then you're probably rubbish. Then they're probably rubbish. Business ideas called cute. I don't think anyone's business ideas have ever been called cute, really. Like not from my perspective at least. Like I've never called anyone's business ideas cute. Oh, business ideas actually. Oh, not necessarily business, but like if they have like some random idea that seems silly, I instead of like making him calling him a jackass or anything like that, I just say, "Oh, that's a cute idea." Or like even if it's something that I've never heard of before, I might call it cute. But as for business, I don't know. I'm generally harsher when it comes to business. I won't say something's cute. I won't sugarcoat it. I'll basically say that's rubbish. I'll say that's stupid. Like that's a waste of money, waste of time. Don't do it. Yeah, like when it comes to business, I'm a little more serious. But when it comes to basic ideas, yeah, I might call something cute. But are your business ideas called cute? Not really, but I don't really have many business ideas that I actually follow through with. They just sort of like mull around in the whole brain. So let's have a look, see some more. Here we go. Questions for Men by Queen of Maggots. Does it ever stop being hurtful? A sizable chunk of the USA brands you violent rapists by default, or are you desensitized? I think this is like referring to like all men being rapists or violent rapists or whatever it is, or USA. Um, I'm honestly not sure how the USA would brand Aussies, but men in general, maybe I don't know. Like, does that ever stop being hurtful? A sizable chunk of the USA brands you violent rapists by default, or are you desensitized? See, like, I haven't really thought about this. I actually have met someone who said, like most men like would have sex with a woman or something like that if they, uh, like what's that? I'll give you a link to this video. It said like 1 in 3 men like rape or something like that. It was some weird statistic that it was on the Young Turks or one of their subsidiaries or whatever it is. But I'll link it in the description. Yeah, it seems that that was an American program, by the way, and I guess that brands you rapist. I mean that video itself seemed to show very strongly that a lot of men like to rape or whatever. But yeah, do most wait brands you violent rapists? Yeah, like I could see that based on YouTube at least, like that one video that I saw at one time. I mean, like does is it like the whole of USA brands you a sizable chunk even? I don't know, like uh, it's one of those things where am I desensitized to it as well? I mean, I don't really give a shit if someone calls me a rapist. I just call them a racist because like I have dark skin, so I have that going for me, I guess. Uh, anyway, let's get to the next question. All right, so Sula Peace has questions for men hashtag says why do you love wasting our time when you know you aren't relationship ready? So I personally, I try not to do this. Like, it's one of those things where you can try, obviously, but if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But like, personally, I'm not like ready for a relationship, so I don't go for that. You know, it's one of those things where if I meet a girl who like I guess changes my whole personality or some shit, then yeah, like I probably will be relationship ready for that. But like in my mental state right now and the way my life is going right now, I'm not keen on having a relationship. So like I'll generally state from the start like yeah, I'm not looking for a relationship or anything like that. Yeah, I do not love wasting other people's time. I'm a bit of a people pleaser, so. Oh, here's a doozy actually. Nazara Noriega. Noriega. Yeah, that's hard to pronounce actually. Sorry about that. Hashtag questions of men. Let's say you're married and your wife cheats on you once, just once. Is that grounds for divorce? So this is one of the things where all men are different, same as how all women say all women are different. I'm gonna say all men are different as well. Some people have their tolerance level. Some people have their lines that they can't cross. This is one of those lines that you can't cross. If I am in a relationship in the future and I get married to this person who I'm in a relationship with, and she cheats on me once, like I'll say this before we get married. I'll say this once we even start dating, actually, because I've said it before. Actually, it's if you cheat on me once, then that's it. Like there's sort of no going back, because like certainly I can forgive you and we can be friends and stuff, but that's gonna be really hard, by the way. But yeah, it's one of the things where every time I look at you, I'll think, yeah, this person was dishonest or unloyal or yeah, like all these negative things, and like it's one of the things that just can't escape me. Like yeah, yeah, I've only been in a situation once where someone's cheating on me, but yeah, it's pretty freaking brutal, and yeah, I can't like thinking about it now, making me a bit like sick. So yeah, let's move on actually. All right, trends to traditions. Says are men more excited about the wedding and wedding planning process or the honeymoon? Um, so I'm going off not what my experience has been because I haven't been married. I haven't been to like I've been to weddings obviously, but I've never like had to plan a wedding. I've never had to plan a honeymoon or anything like that. So I'll go off what the people in my life who I know have been married because I've been to their marriages. Um, are they more excited about the wedding planning process, or the honeymoon? The wedding planning process, I've generally seen a lack of excitement. It's more been like a painstaking process. Like it's one of those things where it's tedious. There's a lot of tedium involved. There's a lot of uh, nitpicking and stuff that generally the future wife is more concerned with, whereas the guy is sort of like, yeah, it's all right. I don't really care too much. Oh, actually, uh, my cousin's wedding actually, he was very picky about his clothing. Actually, he's a bit of a fashion nut, I guess. Oh, not even a fashion nut. He's more of a fashion nut than me, so it's sort of like it's a big leap up from me. So yeah, but he was upset that the sleeves on his shirt were too short. Yeah, because of that, he basically threw out a what like $70 or $80 shirt, and that seemed like crazy to me. But I guess he wanted something that was perfect, and his wife now did as well. So like it all worked out in the end. But yeah, uh, I guess with certain things, men do take take initiative, but I think for the wedding in general, overall, I think it is more of a female not responsibility, but like they seem to put more emphasis on like everything being perfect and everything, whereas the man in general, they're just like, oh, as long as I don't look like a dickhead, then I'm cool. Um, so the planning process, it's always been tedious. The wedding itself, uh, they always have a smile on their faces, the guys that I've been to weddings with. So yeah, I could say it's a lot of excitement, a lot of nervousness, a lot of the anticipation, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things where because it becomes a big show basically. Like a wedding is basically a show in my eyes because I've always seen it like as a spectator. So the fact that they're like the stars of the show, or well, the man is a star of the show and the bride is also. Um, I guess there is a little bit. There would be at least a little bit of excitement about the wedding. So, uh, yes, I would say there is excitement about the wedding. Sorry to be so long-winded about that. Uh, as for the honeymoon, obviously, like if you're going traveling generally on a honeymoon, it's always going to be fun. Like I can't see a woman saying, "Oh, I hate the honeymoon. It's so shit." Like every person involved in a honeymoon is always going to be happy about it. So like say you're traveling to Japan or you're traveling to Thailand or wherever it is you want to go, it's always going to be a fun experience for both parties. I can't see why it would be more fun for one or the other. All right, this is a fun one actually. Hate cause they ain't us. Hate us cause they ain't us. Okay, that's really annoying actually. By a kilo. That's funny actually. It's only a kilo. Is this a trick question? Uh, uh, actually, wait, no. Questions for men. Will you really stick thing? Really, really stick your thing in anything? Jeez, I'm really stuffing up these questions. Will you really stick your thing in anything? No, I will not stick my thing in anything. But then again, I have standards. No, it's a fun question. Like obviously, guys always think about sex, so yeah, it's like yeah, if you got a pussy, then you're gonna be interesting. Sorry, it sounds it sounds a bit like harsh or whatever, but that's. I'm trying to be honest about this. Like, all right, so Nika CH or niche post, I guess. Questions for men. Okay, so some guys say they find it a attractive when women do the approaching. So what if a woman proposed to you? So that's one of the things where, personally, I see it as like her trying to take away my masculinity. I guess I don't know. It's weird. It feels like a very masculine thing to propose to a woman. So if a woman does it, it's sort of like they're being the man or wearing the pants or whatever. And I don't know. It's one of those things where personally I find it to be like sort of almost a degradation in a way. I don't know. It's a bit like I'm obviously being a bit harsh about it, but as for approaching, yeah, I mean like it's flattering. I mean like I mean when women get approached by guys or like a guy like wolf whistles a girl or something like that. Like obviously there are some situations where it's inappropriate and stuff, but I feel like if you're being acknowledged for your attractiveness, then it's a positive thing. Like someone's going, "Oh, I find you attractive. Do you want to like catch up or something like that?" And if a woman does that to me, then and I've been called cute as well, like in public, and girls have been like, "Oh, you're kind of cute." I'm like, "Oh, cool, thanks." And like I appreciate it. It's a cool thing to hear, especially as a guy, because like generally guys are doing all the approaching. So when a woman does it, it's sort of like you're sort of taken aback a bit, but it's a it's not a bad thing. It's a pleasant thing actually. All right, so here's one from Laura Some Number. Questions for men. Have you ever been expected to take hormones on a daily basis to avoid condoms? Um, oh, the one word here is which is weird is expected. Expected to take hormones. Like I'm guessing because it's hormones, which is referring to is the pill or like birth control, I guess. Yeah. Um, on a daily basis to avoid condoms. So the women that I know who do take the pill, they do because the guy just doesn't want to wear condoms. Like and like she is willing to make a compromise in that relationship, and that's sort of a thing. But uh, never have I seen like it's been expected, like where you go up to a woman and it's like, well, I expect you to be taking hormones. Um, this is sort of a weird question. It seems like a almost like a loaded question. Just having that word expected there makes it seem a bit weird. But yeah, I've never been expected to take hormones on a daily basis to avoid condoms. But then again, like I've always had to wear condoms in order to be protected, So like and actually to go into that further, I've been expected to carry condoms on me, even though it can be a bit embarrassing if your parents find it or whatever. But yeah, expected. That's just a weird word. Anyway, let's move on. All right, here's another question by Knowledge and Hope, or at Knowledge Hope. Uh, questions for men. How many times a day do you see an ad where a product is being promoted with an unrelated, sexualized image of a male? Hmm. Well, I generally have ad block on. Sorry, but yeah, I guess this is for TV, because like I mean, like you get one ad on YouTube, if that, and the ads I've seen don't really show sexualized images of men. I mean, like actually, that reminds me, there was uh, an ad that was it must have been like a beer commercial or something. I think because it had like, but basically it was just this guy running down a hill chasing after this barrel or something like that, and yeah, I don't. That doesn't seem like a sexualized image. But then again, I'm not a girl, so I can't really uh, attest to like the attractiveness of a guy. Um, like it's one of those things where like because I'm not attracted to guys, I can't see whether they're attractive or not. So I can't see whether they're being sexualized or not because I don't know what like obviously like if they have like six pack or like massive pecs or massive arms or whatever it is, then like that's something. But like uh, even then like I don't notice that sort of stuff. Like so maybe I'm just blind to it. I guess I don't know. Maybe it does exist. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Like I haven't seen it, but I guess this is like referring to that like females sexualized more on in adverts, and I can see that being the case. Um, yeah, like but that being said, like I'm looking for that, so like obviously I'm gonna see it. It's one of those things where if you're looking for it, you're gonna see it more often. So, um, yeah, it's just one of those things. All right, so I'm running out of time now, so I'll just get maybe a couple more questions in. So here's one from Tilly Leggy or Tillface. When women leer at you, do you pretend you don't notice so they won't know how small it makes you feel? Hashtag questions from men. When women leer at you, do you pretend you don't notice so they won't notice how small it makes you feel? How small it makes me feel? See, like I mentioned before, I have dark skin, so if a woman is leering at me, it's like I tend to see it as, oh, they're racist and they don't like me because I have a dark skin or whatever it is. Even though I've been born in this country, in Australia, it's like they don't see me as Australian, so they see me as someone different, and apparently they don't like people who are different, and that's why they litter at me. But that being said, I live in a pretty nice place, so and Australia is pretty diverse in general, so you don't usually see this that often. So racism isn't a big thing per se. Um, but it doesn't make me feel small. Not really. It just gets me irritated. Really, like I don't see how it makes you small. And finally, by Classy Octopus or Underwater Prick. That's a funny one. Would you date a feminist? Questions for men. So like basically from what I've seen, this is like a feminist sort of hashtag. And would I date a feminist? I don't know. It's one of those things where like, see, I would like someone who had similar ideology to myself if I'm planning on dating them. So if they're the kind of feminists where they just like support equality and stuff, then yeah, like sure, why not? Like that being said, I probably wouldn't want to like go out of my way, like go to like marches or pep rallies or whatever it is that they call them. I don't know. Like I've never been to any of them, so I don't know. But yeah, like I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that sort of stuff. So yeah, would I date a feminist? Sure, but like I wouldn't go too overboard on the feminist train, I guess. Anyway, that's it for questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And obviously, I am being satirical with this thing. I know what it's all about, and it's just a fun thing to do. I just thought I'd answer some questions that people had for men, and being a man, I felt compelled to answer.